Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Aries for March 2016. Check out my website, anniehelpsyou.com, where you can see more about my blogs, including astrology and health and other blogs. And while you're there, sign up for my free email newsletter, which makes you part of my VIP crew. So we have got so many things to talk about for March. We have birthdays, we have eclipses, including an eclipse cycle that was in your polarity Aries Libra, which is ending. We have Mars, which is your ruler, going retrograde. So there's a lot to talk about, and we don't even have time to talk about the many lesser placement or transits that are occurring almost every day in March. It's just such an astrologically busy time. So let's just take it piece by piece. Let's start with birthdays. If you have your birthday in March, you're a March Aries, then it will be your birthday this month. And birthdays are amazing because the sun comes back to the same place that it was at when you were born, and this is a solar return. And the sun in the sky and your chart represents what you want. It's your desires. So the universe is exceptionally receptive to your desires at the time of your birthday. That's where birthday wishes come from. Astrology is at the source of many things that people just commonly know. Of course, it doesn't get credit for it, but birthday wishes are astrologically based. So you have to maximize them. The more you can write them down, feel them as if they're coming true, or make a vision board. One of the two best days of the year to make a vision board is on your birthday. The other one is the new moon in Aries, which is April 7th. So you kind of have them close together here, your two dates of the year. You can use them both. A vision board is something where you cut out pictures, images, energies that you want to create, manifest in the next year, and you keep them, your collage or whatever it is, in a place where your subconscious mind sees them. So maybe you're not paying attention to it, but your subconscious mind is picking it up and say, oh, more harmony, more money. Okay, let's create that. All of your creation comes from the inside of your mind. So the more you can make an impression on that place, the more you're going to be able to create things that you want. So you've got the best time to do that when it is your birthday. Now, there's the 4 weeks before the sun crosses over your ascendant, if you're watching for Aries rising, or the 4 weeks before the sun crosses over your sun, which is your birthday, the 4 weeks before your birthday. The sun is in your 12th solar house. And there's actually a massive amount of energy for all Aries, early, middle, and late degree placements in the 12th house. The 12th house is so active at this time. So we're going to talk in depth about the 12th house. There's the sun and Mercury and Venus is going to be there, and there's outer planets there, and there's the solar eclipse there. So there's just a massive amount of energy in your 12th house, and each of those placements carry their own signature tones, all in the arena of the 12th house. So the 12th house is like the location of a party or a gathering. And then the planets there, or the astrological events there, are like the people at the party. And then the sign is like the mood of the party, So all of this energy is very much gathered in Pisces. And this is an energy very contrary to Aries nature. Pisces is slow and quiet and internal and abstract. Aries is not any of those things. So this is a time for deep reflection. You might find the 4 weeks before the sun crosses over your ascendant or before your birthday that you feel a little funky. And this is because the sun is illuminating your unconscious mind. And your unconscious mind is like your attic or your basement or behind your stove. Maybe you dropped money back there and you find treasure in that place. That happens in your unconscious mind. Or maybe there's a bunch of crap back there that you really don't want to deal with. And that's a lot of your unconscious mind. So things that you have been too busy being active and busy and physical to take the time to look at have been accumulating in that space. And this is the time to discharge it. And this is a theme that's going to continue through the coming months, since Mars, which is your ruler, which rules oomph and get up and go and energy, which is part of what makes Aries so vibrant, that is going to go retrograde. This happens once every 2 years. And when it does, it slows things down. It also intensifies things that are not resolved. When Mars goes retrograde, it comes closer to the Earth. So its influence is stronger. So that thing that makes you Aries-y will be stronger because Mars is closer, making you anxious, making you antsy, making you want to have action and do stuff. But it will be going backwards. So it's like it's bringing about this frustration because more than ever, especially at the end of March as the personal planets start to move into Aries and then into April, when we'll have 3 planets in Aries, personal planets in Aries, your drive, you know, it's the astrological new year, you're going to want to push things forward. It's not the time to initiate. It doesn't mean you can't do things. It just means you have to properly place those things. So I have done a video called Mars Retrograde. Everyone needs to watch it, but especially Aries needs to watch it, and Scorpio, because Mars is a co-ruler for Scorpio. Mars is the only ruler for Aries. So check out on AnnieHelpsYou.com, my blog. There will be a Mars Retrograde blog. And then also check out the video on Annie Botticelli YouTube. Okay, because I'm not going to go into all the specifics, but I am going to talk about certain things relevant to the points that I'm making here about March. So frustration levels will be higher, but the time to force things forward is going to not be in existence, and hence the frustration. At the same time, there is this other very beautiful potential. And I have seen this manifest in myself. I have Aries rising, and I am very much like that, whatever all that is. I have found that when I don't try to force things when Mars is in retrograde, because I know the lessons and I already do my initiating and all my blazing forward before the transit, which is February and the first half of March or so, then when it comes time to the Mars retrograde, I've already done all the things that I wanted to do and I can relax. You might find that with your ruling planet retrograde, it might take the edge off of you and make you comfortably productive. Like maybe how normal people act or other people are. Like, wow, I can relax, I can take a vacation. So there's both of these forces at play. And you might be affected by both of them. You might have rising frustration levels, but you might also start to be laid back about other things. The degree to which you try to force things that aren't supposed to happen, it's going to increase your frustration. You're going to need massive amounts of physical activity. Fantastic time to join a gym. Fantastic time to exercise. Just be careful because the Mars retrograde can bring about more chance for injury and like recklessness with your physical body. But you're going to need to get the emotional things dealt with. You might need assistance with that. You're going to need to get the physical things dealt with. And all of these things are true to the 12th house as well. You know, you have to deal with the issues you've been avoiding, basically. But within that is this chance to decrease your frustration and anger in your whole life for the future. Any work you do now can be very potent. And you can also take a break. Most Aries people don't know how to take a break unless they have a strong influence of Pisces in their chart, which I have seen happen. One small placement in Aries, bunch of placements in Pisces, that person acts more like a Pisces than an Aries, you know? So you might have to know your own chart or know your own temperament to see how this might affect you more. But the 12th house energy brings like a sabbatical. It brings the energy of toning it down, of relaxing, of doing the things that have to be done and then taking a break. The 12th house rules actual like retreats and sabbaticals and quiet time and resting time. So it's just kind of contrary. Well, not kind of, it's very contrary because all this energy of quiet and peace and going backwards and going inwards is happening at a time when the planets start moving into Aries and you're getting more zesty in some ways. So this is going to be happening all at the same time. The solar eclipse is going to help you though because it brings new opportunities. And new opportunities are necessary and helpful in the arena of the 12th house, which is the unconscious mind and the emotional space. So new moons, which is when the solar eclipses happen, bring in new energy in triplicate. So your openings, your new beginnings that come from a solar eclipse are like that of a new moon times 3. And that happens in your 12th house for all of you, all placements. So the lunar eclipses bring endings, they bring closings, they bring completions coming to fruition. And this is a particularly potent lunar eclipse in the way that it is the last one of the Aries Libra polarity that's been happening since late 2013. So if you've been noticing you've had radical transformation in your relationships and how you are and how you hold your energy and how you use your energy and how you are in relationship and all of those things having to do with codependency and merging with others and independence and interdependence, that has been the storyline, and this is the last eclipse in that cycle. So something is coming to a closure, something's coming to a fruition, something's healing, something's ending. Many of you will have the ends of relationships. It will actually close out a relationship. Many of you will have the closing of a chapter within a relationship that will continue to go on. But you'll feel this energy ending in the form of something up with your relationships, the way that you related to somebody. There's many different ways this can look, and sometimes it could be more subtle and sometimes it could be more obvious, but there's closing out in the energy of Libra. There's also closing out for many of you in the sixth house. The sixth house has to do with your daily routine. So something that you've been doing every day. Maybe you've been on full throttle every day. Maybe part of your new routine is that you're not on full throttle, and that's how this lunar eclipse is affecting you, where your schedule completely changes. Sometimes it's a health-related thing that slows you down or stops you completely, so that you take inventory and take stock of these things that you've been avoiding on all levels. The relationship between mind and body, emotions and body, environment and body. Also, the sixth house has to do with pets, so something notable could happen there. A closing and ending, a coming to completion, fruition. Maybe you have a dog that's pregnant and they have a bunch of babies. There's something ending having to do with animals or a relationship with animals for some of you. And it could be a health crisis. For many people, it's going to be something involving health. So definitely take the time to get things checked out, because this eclipse energy can help you excavate the solution or the reason, the source for issues that could be coming up. Okay, so we've got the birthdays. We have the 12th house, the sun illuminating that, making you have things that you have to deal with. This is an excellent chance, one of your best chances in a long time, for freeing yourself from certain addictions. If you have a problem with an addiction of any kind that is based in your mind, it may have now wired itself into the physiology of your body, but there's a basis for it in your mind. And this solar eclipse can bring new pathways to do something different. So whatever it is you're addicted to, whether it's work or sex or shopping or substances or anything like that, or anger or adrenaline, you have a chance to do something different. And that can be the relationship with the health that we're talking about here. There's something connected there where the body and the mind, something's happening there that's radically transforming. So we said that the Aries lunar or the Aries Libra eclipses are ending with this eclipse on March 23rd. Then at the same time as that ending is occurring, and that ending can actually be plus 4 to 6 months as well. So even though this is like the last event, it might take 4 to 6 months for the rest of the end of the story of the Aries Libra, me, we, yourself versus relationship story to unfold and integrate. At the same time, in 2015, we started the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle, and that has to do with chaos versus order, and formlessness versus form, and abstract versus organized, and so all of the stories of how that manifests in your life, that's going to be a theme that continues into and throughout most of 2017. So all of that is happening. So with Mars going retrograde, you definitely want to try to push things forward in February and the first half of March. But at the same time, the eclipses always tell us, don't make big initiations or big moves, because you have to respond to what is coming to you. So there's a difference between you initiating something and you responding to something that comes to you, which may create great change, but it's in a response, not in an instigation from you. So in general, eclipse time is a time to not plan that much, because changes may come and you want to be ready for them. But if you place this period of time in the 2016 calendar, there's very few windows of opportunity for pushing something forward. So even though there are implications for trying to push things forward in this time, there's only 3 windows of opportunity: February and part of March, the end of July and the beginning of August, and then the end of the year, like the end of October, November, and the beginning of December. So if you have something you have to push through, try to do it. You'll see if the universe supports it and carries it out really far, or you'll see if it's telling you, actually, that's not going to work out. So the more flexible you can be, and again, this is a theme, the more flexible, the more responsive to your environment you can be, which is not Aries nature. It's Aries nature to blaze through whatever is in front of it, regardless of whatever, to get to the outcome. And there's a very strong setup of planetary placements that is pushing you back from the edge that carries and helping you to use that energy in better ways to be even more efficient and more productive and more sane in a way, you know, how to use that energy just in a way that's much more healthy but still carries the positive potentials of it. So we have all these things going on. If you want some help navigating the astrological waters, I would love to help. I understand Aries energy very well, and I'm going through this with you since I have Aries rising. Go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, and click on coaching. Also, check out my 28-day virtual coaching program called Shine, which is available on a sliding scale and is intended to help you bring your shine into the world. And that is very, very magical. I've put that together based on looking at thousands of charts. And while you're there, sign up for my free email newsletter and become part of my community. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.